What's the difference between short-term and long-term relationships? And how exactly should you go about doing each of them properly? In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what they are, how they're different, and the step-by-step of how to do them. And you'll want to stay to the very end where I share a key mindset that most guys screw up, which causes them to fail at their short-term relationships and their long-term relationships. So let's get into it. The key misconception that most guys have when it comes to dating, okay, short-term versus long-term, is that somehow they are different things, okay? The short-term relationship, I have to treat the girl a certain way, and the long-term relationship, I have to treat the girl a certain way. And certain girls are just for short-term flings, and certain girls are only for long-term relationships, right? And then comes with that the mindsets about what these girls will sort of do on dates or do in the bedroom. Like some girls will move slow and some girls will move fast, and other girls I shouldn't push it too much, and other girls I should, take it slow, right? This is all false. This doesn't help you. And the reason for this, okay, if you think back to your own experiences, when you started treating girls differently, what happened, okay? When you started seeing a girl as like long-term potential and you started taking her out to fancy dinners and moving a little bit slower with her and maybe not physically escalating as much because you want to, you want to, show her that you're serious, right? What happened? Well, chances are is that after a few dates, she ditched you, right? She moved on because things weren't moving forward. Or you pedestalized her and she could feel it. And now she's like, this guy's treating me different. I don't feel good about this. I don't like feeling like this, pedestalized goddess. I'm going to move on, right? And maybe she actually liked you, but because you pedestalized her, now she's not attracted anymore, okay? So that's the key misconception that most guys have when it comes to short-term versus long-term dating. So this is the actually right way to think about it. And then I'll show you how to exactly approach it, okay, the step-by-step. The right way to do short-term and long-term dating is to see them as the same exact thing, except you drop off at a different point, okay? You as the man drop off at a different point, okay? So instead of seeing them as two different sort of train tracks, see them as two paths that are overlaid on top of each other, except in the short-term version, you sort of drop off a little bit sooner, okay? They're the same path, you just drop off a little bit sooner, okay? So here's what it actually looks like. The first 3 dates, okay, your primary goal with her together should be to get to the bedroom, as in get into physical intimacy, okay? Why? Because if you've ever done not this, you probably saw what happened, okay? If things didn't move forward physically, intimacy-wise, at some point she loses interest. At some point, she's like, this guy doesn't have the balls to move things forward. She's like, okay, I'm gonna just move on. This guy's just being a very nice, gentle guy, but this relationship is going nowhere, okay? The thing that guys don't understand is that girls actually want you to move it forward. Girls actually want you to move it forward physically, emotionally, all of these ways, and pretty early on, but they want you to do it in a certain way. That's a topic for another video. But the thing is, if you're not moving it forward physically on the first 3 dates, she's gonna get uninterested and she's gonna see you as a wimp that doesn't know how to or have the balls to move things forward to the bedroom. And she's gonna lose respect for you, okay? So in the first 3 dates, you're trying to get to that point. And that's a very key juncture because once you guys get physically intimate, you as the man are actually no longer the one pursuing her. She becomes the one pursuing you, okay? Because once you guys get physically intimate, she's given up in a way, her most valuable asset, okay, in a sexual dynamic, which is her, right, physical intimacy. And now she wants from you the emotional intimacy, the protection, the provisioning, which you're capable of giving, but you're not going to give to just any girl, okay? Because you as a high value man are going to be constantly evaluating the women that you meet to see who is actually worthy of your intimacy, your time, your resources, your attention. So then dates 4 through 8, okay, are very heavily emphasized on evaluating and qualifying her to see would she actually fit into your world as your queen, as your girlfriend, as your wife. Does she have the characteristics, okay, and the values of a woman that you would want to devote all of your resources into, okay? So dates 1 through 3 focuses on getting to the bedroom. This is an oversimplification, but an overview. Dates 4 through 8, the focus is on evaluating her as a potential long-term mate, okay? And usually around dates 8 through 10, she will probably bring up the like, what are we talk, okay? What are we? Are we boyfriend and girlfriend? Are we just talking? Like, are you seeing other girls? If she really likes you, right? And at that point, you need to be prepared. You need to know your answer, okay? You need to be very honest with her, right? If you're just looking for something short term, then you're gonna wanna just tell her, hey, look, right now in this phase of my life, I'm only, looking to have fun, explore my options, not in a phase where I'm looking to commit, right? And that way she can know very honestly that, you're not in it for the long haul, and she can move on, right? Before she gets too attached emotionally, right? That's very fair and honest for both people. And if you do want something long-term with her, well, you should know that, and you should tell her exactly where you're at. You can tell her, hey, Susie, like, yeah, I'm ready to experiment, jump into something long-term with you and see how it goes. Or you can tell her, hey, I need a little bit more time. I want to spend a little bit more time with you to see where this goes. Now, that's the breakdown of sort of how the date structure goes and what you should be thinking and doing along each part of the date structure, okay? And now you can see how they're both the same thing. If you see a girl as long-term potential, you just take the path, but you go a little bit further with it. If you see a girl as just, something short-term, you take the same path, but at some point you just drop off because, she's not going to progress further with you. Now, the key mindset that I want to share with you, which really fucks up most guys when it comes to both their short-term and long-term dating, okay, is that most guys think that somehow getting physically intimate with her, having sex with her, is going to harm her, okay? There's this overwhelming idea in society that sex is something that guys take from women, and, it's something that's going to hurt her. Oh, we hooked up, I hurt her feelings, and now I feel like a bad person, right? So if I really like a girl, I shouldn't, right, go for anything physically intimate with her. That's the overwhelming narrative around this, dating stuff, okay? And I'm gonna tell you right now that this is a very harmful mindset. First, because women really, really love sex, okay? Women love it, they crave it. They just crave it in a certain way. They don't want the guy who's super pushy, aggressive, or the guy who they don't respect, who doesn't have a backbone. They don't want the guy who's just bending over backwards. They want the guy who is strong, stands in his own frame, knows what he's about, and knows how to escalate in a very smooth way, okay? They want that. The other thing that's really harmful about that is you're looking at sex as a give or take, right? Something that you're taking from the woman, as opposed to this mutually consensual, beautiful, unionizing activity that both parties want to participate in, okay? Because that's the truth of it. And if you think about it, look, if you're afraid of going for sex and you think that it's a bad thing to take from her when it's in your first few dates, what's gonna happen when you're in a long-term relationship? You're gonna continue acting like it's like this thing that you have to like take from her and that it's bad to have together. And she's gonna feel that, and she's not gonna enjoy, you guys are not gonna enjoy your intimacy, right? In a long-term relationship, you want to both love getting physically intimate with each other, emotionally intimate with each other. You want to enjoy that so much that both of you are just pouncing each other all the time. Well, that comes from the frame of this is a mutually desired, happy, fun activity that we both love and enjoy. So what makes you think that if you act a certain way on the first few days that that's going to then change later when you're in a relationship? It's not, okay? So you need to set the sort of standards, the expectations, the frame up front that this is something that we both love, that we both enjoy, that we're both hopping into bed enthusiastically, it's mutually consensual, and we're both giving to each other. And if that continues into a long-term relationship, amazing. We'll just give more and more to each other, okay? So this is the key mindset that I want to share with you, is that sex is something that both parties want, both parties desire, both parties give to each other, and is not something mutually reserved for a long-term relationship, but not a short-term, fun thing that you guys may have, a fling or, what have you, whatever you want to call it. In fact, you can have a fling and it be a very mutually consensual, fun activity that both people feel great about afterwards, right? Both people can leave a short-term sexual relationship feeling like, wow, that was amazing. Like, I learned a lot, I experienced a lot, I explored my body a lot, I opened up a lot, I had a lot of fun. And as long as both parties are honest about it, this is the key part, okay, is be honest as the man about what you're looking for with her. If the topic comes up, don't lead her on emotionally. Don't let her think that you're going to commit more emotionally if you're not going to. And as long as both parties are honest about what's going on here, it is always a beautiful, beautiful unionizing of people, hearts, minds, bodies, right? So to wrap it up, the difference between short-term and long-term dating is simply that you hop off at a different point, okay? The date structure is the same, days 1 through 3, 4 through 8, 8 through 10, okay? But if it's something short-term, at some point, one of the parties is gonna say, hey, this is not really working for me anymore. What is actually going on here? At which point the other party needs to be really honest and be okay with, parting ways. But the path is the same. It's the same path. You just hop off at a different point, okay? And if you keep in mind the key mindset that I shared at the end, that getting physically intimate is something that is mutually consensual, beautiful and loving and desired from both parties, then that means you don't act differently when it comes to short-term dating or long-term dating. You act exactly the same. You just hop off at a different point. Now, if you're an Asian man and you're looking to either have some, short-term fun or get into a long-term relationship or do both, right? Do both, do one and then the other. Then if you're looking for some help on that, book in a call down below where I'm going to talk to you one-on-one about exactly how my program, the Asian Dating Academy, helps guys get into a long-term relationship but meet a lot of women and have a lot of fun along the way. So book in that call. I'll look forward to talking to you, and until the next video.